Hey everyone, we're going to move on with the conic curves, and there are actually 4 of them, and all 4 are actually covered in the H2 Math syllabus. However, for the A Math syllabus, you're only required to know the circles, which is what I'm going to do today, and parabolas, which will be the next video. Alright, so let's begin. There are actually 2 equations for our circles, but for graph sketching, it is way preferable to represent the equation of a circle of this form: x minus a whole thing square plus y minus b whole thing square equals to r square. All right, and I'm gonna run through it. Right, so r is the radius. Don't forget it's a square, so I'm gonna give you a trick question later on. The center would be at a, b. All right, so if let's say you have x plus 1 whole thing square, the coordinates of the center would be minus 1. All right, so I'm gonna start off with a very simple example. We have the x squared plus y squared equals to 2 graph. All right, so the center would be at the origin because, you know, minus 0, so origin. So I'm going to try to draw a circle as much as possible. I think that's a good one. Okay, now what is the radius? It is root 2 square. All right, not 2. All right, don't forget it is r squared, so it is root 2 square. As such, your x-intercepts would be minus root 2 comma 0 and root 2 comma 0 because they are just horizontally across the center and the radius is root 2. Same thing for our y-intercepts, because it's vertically on top of our centers. They are basically 0 root 2 and 0 minus root 2. And that will be the graph of x squared plus y squared equals to 2. Alright, let's do another graph. We have the graph x minus 1 whole thing square plus, let's say, y plus 2 whole thing square, and maybe they give you a nice number 4, which is basically 2 square. So your radius is at 2, but your center is now at, surprise, 1 minus 2. All right, don't forget it is minus a minus b, so a is 1, b is minus 2, right? Minus 2 becomes plus 2. So the center is at 1 comma minus 2. So I'm going to draw the graph here. All right, so let's just say, well, since root 2 is bigger than 1, so it should be around here, and 2 is bigger than root 2, so let me just put it around here. All right, so I'm going to go through how I'm going to draw this graph. Okay, I think that's a good circle. All right, now, why do I draw the graph that's just nice touching the x-axis? Very simple. If you look at the radius of the curve, of the circle rather, it is 2. Your y-coordinate of the center is at minus 2. Therefore, if we go directly above the center, the point directly above the center would be at 1 comma 0, and there'll be no other point. As such, that the curve will just be just nice touching the x-axis, aka the x-axis is actually the tangent to the circle at the point 1, 0. Alright, so that's how you calculate it, and that's how you kind of like imagine how you're going to sketch this curve. Now, so that'll be the only x-intercept, because, you know, x is just a tangent to the circle. How about the y-intercept? To calculate the y-intercept, just simply let x equals to 0 in the equation of the circle. So you have 1 square plus y plus 2 square equals to 4. You have y plus 2 square equals to 3. Y plus 2 equals to plus minus root 3. Don't forget, when you take a square root of a number, you have plus minus. Alright, alright. Then now you have minus 2 plus minus root 3. Therefore, your circle will intersect the y-axis at 2 points. One at 0 comma root 3 minus 2. Don't forget root 3 is positive. That's why root 3 minus 2 is bigger than the other intersection point at minus root 3 minus 2, or minus 2 minus root 3. Alright, and this will be the curve of x minus 1 square plus y plus 2 square equals to 4. Alright, where your radius is at 2 and your center is at 1 comma minus 2. Alright, so for circle, few things to take note. Same thing, your intersection points with the axis, but with the inclusion of the center. Alright, so that is the curve, or rather the graph of a circle, and we move on to our parabolas in the next video.